And we now are getting those visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi surveying the flood-affected regions. These visuals are coming in from Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh and Punjab have been particularly affected by floods this year. And those visuals, Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking an aerial survey. Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking an aerial survey of the flood-affected regions in Himachal Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting Himachal Pradesh and Punjab today to take stock of the situation in the aftermath of the flood situation. These visuals are of Himachal Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking an aerial survey of the flood-affected and disaster-struck regions of Himachal Pradesh. Prime Minister is reviewing the situation in Himachal Pradesh in the wake of floods and landslides. Earlier, Prime Minister reiterated the commitment of Government of India for all relief and rehabilitation efforts. In those visuals that just came in, Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking an aerial survey of the flood situation in Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh affected by floods and landslides this monsoon has suffered major damage to public and property. And those visuals, Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking an aerial survey of the floods and landslides situation in the hilly state of Himachal Pradesh. Those visuals coming in from Prime Minister's aerial survey. Prime Minister today is taking stock of two regions in particular affected by the flood situation this year due to monsoons. First Himachal Pradesh and then Punjab. These visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi getting updates on the flood and landslide situation in Himachal Pradesh and taking an aerial survey. These visuals are coming in from Prime Minister's chopper. Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking aerial survey of the flood and landslide situation in Himachal Pradesh. Prime Minister Modi is visiting Himachal Pradesh first, where he is conducting the aerial survey of the disaster-affected areas. Prime Minister will also later meet officials and chair a high-level review meeting of the situation in Kangra. Prime Minister's direct review is aimed at closely monitoring the relief and rehabilitation efforts to support the people of the two states during this difficult time. The states in question are Himachal Pradesh and Punjab. Later, Prime Minister will also review the situation in Punjab. These visuals are of Prime Minister taking an aerial survey of the flood and landslide situation in the hilly state in northern India of Himachal Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is visiting Himachal Pradesh and taking an aerial survey of the disaster-affected areas. And DD India correspondent Prakash Pant is joining us from Dharamshala, Himachal Pradesh. Prakash, we're looking at visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking an aerial survey of the flood and landslide situation in Himachal Pradesh. Just bring us up to speed about the kind of devastation that has been caused due to these natural calamities this year in Himachal.
Shubhendu, after taking the aerial survey, Prime Minister just landed 15 minutes, half an hour back at Dharamshala airport to discuss the situation with Chief Minister and the higher officials. And also currently he is meeting the flood affected people who have been devastated by the raging floods for the past 1 month. And he is also at the same venue. He is meeting the NDRF, SDRF and all the volunteers who have done a heroic job in saving the lives of people here. But Shubhendu, as you asked, the devastation is unprecedented. The floods, people say, who are very aged people, they say these floods, such a fury of nature was never witnessed here in Himachal Pradesh, although we have been witnessing increasing incidents of cloudbursts and flash flood for the past many years. But all past records, all past incidents were overtaken by the fury and the damage and the devastation which took place this year. Especially if we can call the death toll which is reaching close to 400, which is maximum in this present situation in all other all other states who have been ravaged by floods in this season. Then more than 2,000 houses have been completely washed out. 5,000 have been rendered uninhabitable. Means they have been damaged so much that people cannot live there. So almost all places are blocked.
DD India correspondent Prakash Pant giving us details of the kind of devastation that has been caused in the hilly state of Himachal Pradesh. Death toll nearly 400 and wide-scale devastation of life and property. Prakash, if you are still with us, we are looking at visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi directly monitoring, surveying parts of Himachal Pradesh deeply affected by the floods. Could you also tell us the regions in the hilly state that have been particularly affected, to give a context to the visuals that we're looking at?
Shubhendu, Prime Minister actually took an aerial survey of a large portion of the flood-affected areas, beginning from Bharmor in Chamba district, which was cut off from the rest of the world for more than 1 week, more than 10 days. Neither road nor telecom, all water supplies were shut. Millions of people being cut off. Imagine millions of people being cut off from the rest of the world because of this fury. So this was the scale. Then Kullu Manali, the favorite destination of tourists world over. Manali has been submerged by raging Beas water. The beautiful Kullu Valley, Kinnaur, Lahore Spiti, every region was devastated badly by this flood fury. But Prime Minister took a special aerial survey today of Bharmor, Chamba region, then Kullu Manali, Mandi. These were the regions where Prime Minister took aerial survey, but he has especially expressed concern to the ecological imbalances which are taking place for the past couple of years from now. So he has appointed a special team to study the deep impact of. This is a unique initiative which has been taken by Government of India, and the people here are feeling the Prime Minister's recent visit, the latest visit, has proved as a balming impact on the devastated people of Himachal Pradesh.
Right, Prakash, and the visuals that came in a short while ago of Prime Minister taking an aerial survey, the visuals that we are showing on our screens. I also understand that Prime Minister is scheduled to engage with the officials to review the rescue and relief operations on the ground. What details can you share with us on that?
Shubhendu, as we speak, Prime Minister is taking chairing a high-level meeting with Chief Minister, with people's representatives, opposition leaders in Himachal Pradesh, senior officers, and NDRF, SDRF. So, Prime Minister talk of the situation as well as the operations. Damage and the devastation fury was so intense that for the relief operations were very progressing at a snail's pace, because the nature was not allowing it to happen. But now, as the rescue operations have gained pace, and now we can they will take adequate momentum, and people will get real relief.
Right, Prakash, we'll keep coming back to you for more. Meanwhile, for viewers who've just joined us, you're looking at visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking an aerial survey of the flood and landslides affected Himachal Pradesh. These visuals came in just a short while ago. Prime Minister is visiting the flood-affected states of Himachal Pradesh and Punjab today. These visuals that you're looking at are of Prime Minister taking an aerial survey of the flood and landslide situation in Himachal Pradesh. Correspondent in Himachal Pradesh was bringing us up to speed about the devastation caused by the calamities in the hilly state this year. Given the unprecedented rains and monsoon, the death toll is nearing 400. Also, given the harsh terrain, the rescue and relief operation has been challenging for the soldiers of SDRF and NDRF. However, as we speak, rescue operations have gained pace. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in these visuals taking an aerial survey of the flood and landslides affected parts of the hilly state of Himachal Pradesh that lies in the north of India. And Prime Minister is also taking stock of the action on the ground. He's reviewing the situation with top officials on the ground as far as Himachal Pradesh is concerned. He landed a short while ago after taking the aerial survey. These visuals came in a short while ago of Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking an aerial survey of the flood situation. In the visuals, you can see the unprecedented devastation caused by the floods in the hilly regions of northern India in Himachal Pradesh, in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Landslides have been another challenge in this season. Widespread damage to life and property. And here, Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking an aerial survey of the flood situation. He is also engaging on the ground with the senior officials in charge of providing relief and rescue efforts to the people affected in Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh lies in the north of India, a hilly terrain, significantly affected by unprecedented rains and landslides in the past few weeks. In the visuals that came in a short while ago, Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking an aerial survey of the regions in Himachal Pradesh affected by unprecedented floods and landslides. These visuals came in a short while ago. At the moment, Prime Minister is engaging with the senior officials to take stock of the relief and rescue efforts in the hilly state of Himachal Pradesh. Later today, Prime Minister is also scheduled to visit and take stock of the flood-affected Punjab, the northern state in India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi earlier reaffirmed Government of India's commitment to provide all possible relief and rehabilitation support for the flood-affected regions in the country, particularly Himachal Pradesh and Punjab, where Prime Minister is visiting today. A short while ago, Prime Minister Narendra Modi took aerial survey of the flood and landslide affected regions of Himachal Pradesh. Prime Minister later will also visit Punjab. He is scheduled to visit Pathankot and Gurdaspur, where he will take stock of the flood situation in the bordering state. These visuals of Himachal Pradesh, the hilly state in the northern India, which has experienced unprecedented flood and landslides related devastation. And these visuals, Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking aerial survey of the flood related devastation in Himachal Pradesh. Landslides have been another challenge. Given the hilly terrain, rescue and relief operations have been of particular challenge to the agencies engaged in such rescue operations, namely SDRF, NDRF and the forces. But our correspondent from Himachal Pradesh brought us up to speed, saying that as the weather clears, the rescue operations have also gained pace. And here in the visuals, Prime Minister Narendra Modi in person taking stock of the flood-related devastation in the state of Himachal Pradesh. The death toll is, because of the calamities, is nearing around 400 in the state of Himachal Pradesh. And a correspondent informed that the state has experienced unprecedented natural calamities this year. Widespread flood situation that is also visible in a Prime Minister's survey of Himachal Pradesh. Landslides has been another challenge. Popular tourist destinations such as Kullu, Manali and other areas are severely impacted by the prevailing flood situation and landslides owing to unprecedented rains and monsoon this year in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi in these visuals that came in a short while ago, monitoring the developments in Himachal Pradesh, taking an aerial survey of the widespread flood situation in the state of Himachal Pradesh. The hilly state has also been affected by significant number of landslides that have caused widespread damage to life and property. Roads being blocked, transportation being affected, and also relief and rescue efforts have been hampered due to the difficult terrain of Himachal Pradesh. And Himachal Pradesh is not alone, and many parts of northern India have experienced significant flood situation In these weeks, with the unprecedented rains, Prime Minister is scheduled to review the rescue and relief efforts, the flood situation in the states of Himachal Pradesh and Punjab today. As we speak, these visuals that came in a short while ago, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Himachal Pradesh, where he conducted the aerial survey of the floods and disaster affected areas. Prime Minister is also meeting officials and is chairing a high-level review of the situation disaster hit Himachal Pradesh in Kangra. And Prime Minister Modi's direct review is aimed at closely monitoring the relief and rehabilitation efforts to support the people of the two states, namely Himachal Pradesh and Punjab, in these extremely difficult times. And we're showing you those visuals of the flood-affected regions in Himachal Pradesh. Unprecedented rains in the hilly state has resulted in significant damage due to floods and landslides. Those visuals can be seen from Prime Minister's aerial survey. And here in these visuals that came in a short while ago, Prime Minister directly monitoring the devastation caused in the hilly state of Himachal Pradesh. Prime Minister is also holding a high-level review meeting to take stock of the relief and rescue efforts. In Himachal Pradesh, the process has been challenging given the difficult terrain, as our correspondent in Himachal Pradesh was also giving an update. But as the weather clears, the relief and rescue operations have gained pace, and Prime Minister Modi's direct review is aimed at providing all possible support and help to people in need in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Later today, he will also visit the state of Punjab, which has been severely impacted by floods this year owing to unprecedented rains and monsoon. These visuals are of the hilly state of Himachal Pradesh. It lies in the north of India. Unprecedented natural calamities have been faced by people in Himachal Pradesh. Severe flooding, as is visible in these visuals as well, and landslides owing to the hilly terrain of the region. And DD India correspondent Prakash Pant is connecting with us from Dharamshala. He'll be joining us in just a bit. Meanwhile, those visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking stock of the devastation caused by the floods and landslides in the hilly state of Himachal Pradesh, lies to the north of India. Prime Minister's direct visit is aimed at accelerating relief and rescue efforts and providing all possible support to people in need in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Once again, let's connect with DD India correspondent Prakash Pant, who's joining us from Dharamshala. Prakash, just bring us up to speed with what is happening at the moment. We are, of course, staying with those visuals of Prime Minister taking an aerial survey of the flood situation in Himachal Pradesh. The survey took place a short while ago. As we speak, what is Prime Minister's program in Himachal?
Shivendu, as I had explained in my earlier dispatch, Prime Minister is meeting flood-affected people and holding high-level meetings with higher officials and the political leadership of the state. But let me tell you one thing. In the meantime, when we were talking live, we spoke to the flood-affected people whom PM had interacted with. So they are telling that they have been. It was such a timely visit by Prime Minister, and Prime Minister has assured that all the flood victims that their personal needs, the officials from the central team will go will knock each and every door of the affected people and ascertain the damage, and the adequate compensation and as well as long-term relief will be provided to them. So this has come as a major relief to the devastated people of Himachal Pradesh.
Right. Prakash, we're looking at Prime Minister's aerial survey of the flood situation in Himachal Pradesh.
Yeah.
You were telling us about the unprecedented damage that the calamities have caused in Himachal Pradesh. If you could take us through once again as to how badly life and property have been affected in the states owing to the rains and the landslides.
Shivendu, as I had earlier said, the damage has been unprecedented. So loss of life has been close to 400 and another 100 are reported missing. The many breadwinners have gone, as well as the roads. We are talking only about highways, but the mini roads from towns, the roads connecting the main town to the villages, there is no count of them. So the people people are living in mini islands, on hilltops, on hillocks. The settlements, small, as you know, hills have a tendency of there is a small settlement on hillocks. So those hillocks have been totally cut off. Even aerial, there is only one way of food and essential supplies has been through aerial drop. So this is the situation. Even besides the highways, and if we talk about the main two professions, main two engagements of people here, orchards, apple orchards as well as tourism, both have been badly affected. Means this season, they say this season is deleted from them because they are not having anything to look up to in the current season. So this is the state of affairs. So and the center is totally aware of the situation, and Prime Minister has repeatedly assured, and even Home Minister, that every aspect will be looked into, right from long-term relief, ecological study, ecological impact, change in settlement patterns. Even Union Minister Nitin Gadkari has said that now the center will devise a different strategy to construct roads in hill areas, considering the frequent events of cloudburst and landslides. So the problem, the crisis is being tackled in every which way possible by the central government, and people have been assured by Prime Minister again and again, and even today, that they will not face such a crisis in future. Shubhendu.
Right, Prakash, and Prime Minister, as we speak, is among the people in Himachal Pradesh now, directly taking stock of the relief and rescue efforts, monitoring the developments. Earlier, the visuals that you're looking at on your screens are of the aerial survey that Prime Minister Narendra Modi took of the flood-affected, landslides-affected parts of Himachal Pradesh. DD India correspondent Prakash Pant continues to be with us. Prakash, given the wide-scale damage and also the challenging hilly terrain, how difficult has it been so far for the rescue agencies who are trying to provide aid and relief to people, the SDRF, the NDRF and others? How difficult has been their job in Himachal Pradesh?
Shubhendu, their job, their challenges was unsurmountable. It seemed unsurmountable when faced with such a fury of the nature. Because you can imagine, the roads were washed away, the bridges were washed away, and people crying for help from hilltops. They had to cross the river swimming, because in hilly terrains you cannot cross a river through boats. You have to devise some innovative measures. So they rowed through ropes and